on yesterday's deadly fire in Syracuse. 2 women were killed, 2 other people hospitalized in a fire on Olive Street on the west side. We're getting new information tonight from this horrible scene.
Couple calls for a house fire, possibly people still inside.
We still have an open line, and the call taker can now hear voices near the victim.
That was audio of dispatchers and firefighters on the scene. They had an open phone line with the victims in that burning home for a time. Neighbors at the scene say the heat was so intense they could feel it from across the street, and some even acted to help victims escape the flames. Tonight, we spoke with the father of one of the victims. Our Mary Keeler is live in Syracuse with how this family is trying to endure. Mary?
And Matt, with some late breaking new details, as Fire Chief Michael Monds is telling me now that the cause of this fire doesn't seem to be suspicious at this point. And this all as we learn more about what happened here and the people who lived in this home. What's left of it now, you can see here, it's charred and boarded up, and there are tributes to the 2 women who passed away. Tonight, we're hearing for the first time, as you said, from the father of one of those victims who came home from work to smoke and flames. Jeffrey Tucker says his daughter, 29-year-old Kristy Tucker, lived in this home on Olive Street with him and their family.
She was very precious to me. She was clean, innocent, beautiful girl.
Now, the front of what's left of the house shows messages and pictures of her, along with balloons and candles burning.
By the time I got here, the house was in flames. It's engulfed in flames.
Tucker says he was at work already when the fire started just before 8:30 Monday morning. Crews battled with live power lines and intense heat from the flames, a neighbor helping one woman who was stuck in a window to get out. Tucker rushed home when he got the call. Do you remember how you felt when you pulled up here?
I was devastated. I was in shock. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Tonight, Tucker says his stepson is out of the hospital after being treated for burns, adding his stepson's girlfriend is still there. Now, this father is grieving the loss of his home, but more importantly of his daughter, who he says was a joy.
I miss her laugh. Most of all, I'm going to miss that, because she always giggled. And she was fun to be around.
So much pain tonight, but also so many questions still remaining, including one big one that we've tried to ask and get answers to. Were there working smoke detectors inside the property? And what is the cause? There were investigators on the scene from in multiple different spots of the house, even some parts inside the house today, trying to root that out, but we still have not found out about the cause. We do know, though, there were no open code violations for this property.
Governor Kathy Hochul today holding a virtual press briefing on Roe v. Wade and abortion rights.
This after the leaked information that the Supreme Court is ready to strike down Roe. She announced what she's calling a nation-leading investment to support abortion providers. That money will cover the cost for people who come to New York from other states for abortions.
Here in the state of New York, that access to reproductive health care is a human right. And we will defend that right to have an abortion with the full power of New York State government, and will ensure that every single person in need of care receives that care and will never.
Governor Hochul says starting today, $35 million will be provided to the Abortion Services Provider Fund. It comes from a so-called Department of Health emergency fund. The governor also says she supports a proposal for an amendment to the New York State Constitution to codify the rights of Roe v. Wade.
Again, all this in anticipation of the official Supreme Court ruling to overturn Roe v. Wade. CBS 6's Brandon Sapardi has been looking into the plan and getting reaction tonight. She joins us live from Albany. Hi, Bree.
Hey, Greg. So as we anticipate the Supreme Court ruling, this $35 million investment into abortion access for the state will be split up into 2 parts. $25 million will go toward creating the state's first abortion services provider fund. The Department of Health will be in charge of distributing these grants to providers. The other $10 million will be given to the Division of Criminal Justice Services. These grants will go towards improving security for reproductive health care centers. Some medical providers in the state are applauding the governor's governor's actions. The New York State Academy of Family Physicians, which represents nearly 7,000 physicians, residents, and students in family medicine, issued a statement saying in part, quote, "We strongly support efforts to ensure that individuals both in and outside our state's border are able to access the reproductive health care they need from New York licensed providers." However, the governor's announcement didn't come without pushback. New York GOP Chairman Nick Langworthy reacted, saying, quote, "The Supreme Court's decision will not affect New York state law. This has never let a crisis go to waste manufactured hysteria designed to distract from the absolute dumpster fire they've created in New York," end quote. Now, while we're still waiting to hear back from the Catholic Diocese of Albany, for their response to New York's investment in abortion access. This was their stance last week. They issued a statement saying, in part, quote, "As we continue to pray fervently for legal protections for unborn children, we cannot comment on the contents of a draft document."
Students in the Syracuse City School District are holding city leaders accountable to make the Centro transit hub a safer place for all commuters, including the students who take the bus to school. This 16-year-old girl says she was once sexually assaulted at the hub.
I tried to tell Centro that it happened, and they simply just brushed me off. And with the poll that we conducted, a lot of other girls have also experienced this, and I want to make sure this doesn't happen to anyone else because it's not a good feeling to experience.
The Syracuse Police Department tells me they are unable to locate any record of an investigation related to these claims from 2 years ago.
It's very concerning. Protecting the safety of everyone in the city, but particularly our young people, is of the utmost importance. And when I heard that story, I was very concerned. We have since reached out to the school district, to Centro, to the police department. I've spoken directly with the superintendent. To our knowledge, there was never any formal complaint.
Centro was unable to speak on camera. However, they did email us a statement that reads in part, "The safety of our customers is critical to our mission of delivering transportation services within the communities that we serve. And we are deeply concerned about the allegation that we became aware of today." Centro said it has reached out to police and its security partner for more information. Centro noted since it opened in 2012, the facility has always had 24-hour security and security cameras. And they say 3 Syracuse City police officers are employed during the busiest of hours when students return home from school. The Syracuse City School District says the district has started providing support to the student and says, "We have been in contact with the Syracuse Police Department and Centro and have begun an investigation into this very serious allegation."